Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're watching this video. This is Mr. Argueta coming to you week number 4 in our Team Project Summer Course. Just wanted to get with you guys really quick. I've been seeing a lot of activity and I'm excited about that. I appreciate all the hard work. I just finished going in there and grading some of your assignments. Now, I want to make sure that you are aware of what is expected here in this midterm, or not midterm, but midpoint check-in. There is no midterm. There's no real work to say that you have to do this week in regards to like discussion or assignments. Now, there is a midpoint check-in, and in the midpoint check-in, what you're supposed to do is everyone should be working on that rough draft. And by rough draft, I mean last week, you guys gave me your outline, right? And everyone pretty much did it correctly. The outline was what you were assigned to be able to do, like your assigned part of the project. And essentially, you told me, here's what I'm doing, here's the weeks that I'm doing. And what I hope you're starting to do is every team has a shared file. You can use whatever you want, but it has to be a shared file where everyone can go in there and make changes to their section of the assignment. And what I want you to do is every single person on your team should be submitting the exact same file that you're working on. This is for a few reasons. One, I can tell if there's progress being done and who's doing the progress. I can see that so-and-so has participated according to their checkpoints, according to their outlines. It's not just random stuff, because the rough draft should be basic, a bunch of open slides, and that you're working on some of those slides or putting verbiage in some of those slides according to your side of the puzzle or your side of the project. So for those of you who are saying, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do, basically, you're supposed to be already working on your final presentation and your executive summary. Now, I'm not going to be grading it as if it's your final project, but it should be some skeleton work about that final project. So if you have 22 slides, there should be 22 open slides, and some of the background verbiage or titles of the slide should be there depending on what you assign to each other. Say, for example, I'm doing a small business plan, and my assignment is to research Calhoun, Georgia. And I'm doing 5 slides. That's my part of it, right? And in those slides, in the 22 open slides, those 5 slides should be my slides. And I'm putting on there demographics, neighborhoods, maybe financial, how much people make, averages and stuff like that. So I should have my portion. I should be working on that file already. So it should start looking like what you're going to present to me at the end. So it shouldn't be the outline. You did that. The outline is what you'll be working on week by week. And now you should be putting that in there. So we're on week 4. You should be putting on week 4 whatever you're working on. You can't just put this together at the last minute, guys. You're going to fail the class. That's why this is designed the way it is. That's why we're on week 4. The checkpoint happens now. We want to make sure that you are on target, and it has to be the same file. Please understand that if a person on your team submits a different file that's different from the other 3 or 4 people on your team, that person's not going to get a good grade because that's not part of the file. That's not the file you're working at as a team. That said, I'm looking forward to what you guys have in store. You should be, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be grading the completed work. I just want to make sure that everyone on your team is on the same page, that you already have the 22 slots allocated in a PowerPoint presentation that everyone's working on. You should have the executive summary already outlined. This is this part, that part, that part, that part. I am not grading a completed work. It's a rough draft. It's okay to have errors. It's okay not to have it completed. Totally fine with that as long as there's work being done. Okay? Other than that, I'm okay with you guys not having the pictures up and the graphics and the background. totally okay. What I'm not okay with, if you guys submit different files or there's no progress in your team. If you have nothing to submit, there's a problem, because we have 3 weeks left before your final presentation is due. So remember, this is a 7-week and then it ends. So in 7 weeks, you should be submitting the final project. That's why this is important for me to see that your summary and your PowerPoint presentation has started, that you have begun the work and you have started the research. Remember, if you're using AI, if you're getting any facts, any data, any information that's factual, that's consistent, which this report should have, it needs to be cited. You cannot just make up numbers. You cannot just grab someone else's work and pretend like it's yours. As plagiarism. This is serious, guys. You are now in your last class in business management. If you move on to your undergrad, you will be hammered on this. So make sure you're utilizing artificial intelligence in some form to help you through this process, but do not submit it as your own work. You need to cite it. You need to say, this is where I got this information from. You cannot just pull it up, prompt it, create this, and copy and paste. It tells me you did that. Literally, it follows your pattern. So please don't do that. I don't want you to fail this class, and I'm giving you a forewarning. I've been warning you since week 1. Please do not submit artificial intelligence as your own work, because you will fail the class. Please don't do this. Make sure you're citing your sources. If I am stating that the average income in Calhoun, Georgia is $40,000 a year per family, then I need to tell me where, I need to say where I got that information from. You cannot make that up. You got to have a source. If I am going to ChatGPT, Grammarly, anything else, and I'm saying, can you do this for me? And it spits out something, it's going to tell me you did that. So please say, in your own words, reword it, make it your work. Please, I am trying to hold you accountable for your work. This is not something that we can play around with, especially at this level. You should be getting used to this. This shouldn't be new to you. You shouldn't be just trying to get a grade in this. A degree is not going to help you when you do not know how to do this in the real world. So please make sure you are utilizing your technology properly, accurately, and professionally. Other than that, I think that should cover what this week should be like. Everything else seems to be okay. Guys, please stay connected with your teams. For the most part, we got 1 or 2 stragglers that still haven't figured out this is a team project. You are not going to pass this class unless you're working with your team. So please make sure you're doing that. I know it's summer. I know it's tough, but I didn't force you to take this class. So please put your effort into it. All right, enough of that. So this week, it has been raining. It was raining. It's going to rain a couple more days. So I hope everyone's been safe out there. Thank you for the updates, by the way. Last week, you guys gave me a lot of updates in regards to you guys. Very interesting to get to hear and see what's going on in your life. This week in my life, my family is back from their vacation. They had a wonderful time. Great experience. Ironically, the day that my family left, my wife and daughter left, and her family left, the volcano they were not climbing, the actual volcano, but the one right next to it, erupted, and they had to evacuate everyone. So that was pretty concerning. But thankfully, my family got up there, no problems, got out of there, left Guatemala City, are back home safely and back into their summer break. On my personal side, I have yesterday got to install my water filtration system in the house. I have been concerned about 2 things. I drink a lot of bottled water, and of course that's not always the best option, but I hadn't put anything in my home as a filtration system. So I finally got one that filters off the PFAS that we've been known to have here in this area. And I'm excited because I got myself this big jug. It's not huge. It's about maybe a good 30 ounces of water. I'm going to try to do about 2 of those, 2.5 of those a day. but I'm able to, just grab it out of the faucet now, and excited about that, and getting rid of that PFAS and all those other things that are involved in the water here in Northwest Georgia. But I think that's about it. There's nothing else going on. This is going to be a pretty interesting week. Tomorrow I have a scheduled corporate training that I'm going to go conduct here in Dalton. And I think that's it. I think the rest of the week goes out pretty smoothly. Registration starts next week. Registration starts next week, Monday, which is, I think, the 16th. Let me make sure. Yes, the 16th. Many of you don't have to register, but if you do, make sure you do that right away. I'm going to send out an email with the business management advisors. There's 3 of us. If you can, or if you need advisement, not everyone needs advisement. If you need advisement, please schedule an appointment. It's important for you guys to take a look at what's missing in your classes by going through My GNTC. That's your side of the responsibility. We can advise you, we can help you, but realistically, the registration portion falls on you. You need to keep up with your sort of progress. So don't expect the advisor to do it for you. That we're just here to help you through the journey. We're not here to keep that on for you. That's your side of it. So make sure you look at what classes you're missing, have a plan together, figure out what you want. We'll be happy to advise you and help you in regards to getting through the process, but not doing it for you. So I'm going to send out that email here soon in the next day or so. So make sure you got an eye out on your email, and let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Other than that, I think that should cover it, guys. I hope you guys are having a great week. I hope you're staying kind of dry out there. Stay hydrated, and take care. We'll see each other soon. We'll see you next week.